I'm back with another episode of Tales of Arise. As you can see behind me, I found the starship or spaceship to go to Lenegis, because in this episode we're going to Lenegis. At first thought that Lenegis was actually a planet, but maybe it's actually just a big spaceship where all the remnants are housed at? I don't know. But it's above this cloud, which, yeah, we're going there, hopefully. I'm just hoping that it's going to be fun. Like always, I hope that the story is going to be fun. But mostly, I just want to see some more Zoogles, some new Zoogles, because we always see the same old Zoogles over and over again. But they are just like another type of astral art. I don't know. But it's still fun. I like it. I like the game. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be like some sort of act 2 of the entire game. So I'm ready. I did every single thing I could do and on this planet. I did every single side quest. I did every fishing hole. I did take every single equipment I could take, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some kind of secret loot that I couldn't find, but it's not a problem.
Calcified.
Why is he talking? It's not a problem.
What
But
kind of poem is that?
what I didn't do and left behind or left untouched were actually a couple of missions. But if you didn't watch my previous episode, then you will not understand what it is. But in the previous episode, I fought a big monster called Ifrit, and he was like Ifrit. I don't know how you say it, but he was like one of the 5 lights that came down from the wedge or from the Lenegis. And all 5 of them are like 5 big giant Zoogles. And I already fought one of them, Ifrit. But there's still 4, I think. And 4 of them are those missions right here: the Farewell Mage, the Spirit Temple, the Untamable Rage, and the Phantom Flower of Nevira. But those things are definitely not for now, so I left them untouched because they like, I don't know, level 50, 60, who knows. At this moment I'm level 46, so I was definitely not ready for this. So let's just continue. Hopefully everything is gonna be alright. And yeah, let's do this. That was actually a quite long introduction. What is actually... Can I do something with that marker? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, let's continue then.
It's funny, isn't it?
Nope.
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dahna.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dahna alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
I wish.
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dahna. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dahna. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Dahnans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dahna. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
She's still hiding something. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what it is, but I really want to know. Okay, it looks like he's going to have a conversation with Shion, probably.
Where? Shion?
She's inside the box. Party is banned. Okay, means I'm going solo.
How could she just go off on her own?
Yeah, she's right there. Oh, does she want to go solo? Who knows? What is this? I really want to know what's inside her head. Sometimes she's just acting like really friendly, but I don't know what it is.
Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why?
Okay, she's activating her maiden powers.
Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Oh, I think she's actually going solo.
Wait a second.
So maybe that means we...
Planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Rena's Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
but that's too much. It's way too much. When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
Only living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you, All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Alright. What the hell was that? Okay, so we actually know the whole truth about Shion right now. So she wants to die. Isn't that so fucked up? I don't know what it was. I really wanted to know what it was, what she was hiding, but that's what she was hiding. She wanted to die. Well, not really dying, but she wanted to get rid of her thorns, but she knew that get rid of the thorns will be her death. Oh my god, love it. I really enjoyed that one. Just that last part went with the soundtrack of the song. That was amazing. It was really something that we see in the movies and stuff like that. I'm a big man, you know, I'm a tall man with a beard. I'm what you call a real man, just saying. But I really wanted to get like a tissue because I was gonna cry. I'm just saying it. I was gonna cry, but I didn't. Almost. That I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I really liked it. But to be honest, like right now, I just want to continue. I want to fight. I want to do something. I want to go to Lenegis, even though that was really good. Let's do this. All right. I need to talk with every single one of my members.
It's hard.
I
My
believe
companions.
Shion is telling the truth. What about...
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands. So many clues. Yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in that?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dahna's astral energy come to life.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become set. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pillaging.
So you think those thorns might be alive, but why would they want to
As for that...
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring...
Can you blame me? When one realized, especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we... As for what the...
Right.
I really want to know what's on Lenegis. If it's going to be beautiful, if it's going to be full of structures. I don't know. But it's definitely going to be really nice. I think of it as
How
a
you
planet
holding up?
full of white.
Who,
I don't know
me?
why, but I'm thinking
Yes,
of
you.
full white.
You
Oh, that?
compared to what Shion's going through, you
Maybe
mean?
full of big
Still,
science
even if you
ships
yourself
and all
might be
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on. She really needed that.
I just want for Shion what we all have. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind
I have to
of
say, I
everyday
really
things
thought
we
he
all
was
take
going
for
to kiss
granted.
her at
And it's not
a certain
right.
moment,
You
but he
can
didn't
say
do
that
it
again.
because he's a
It
coward.
may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any
It's going
less
to happen in the
special or
future.
important
That's
for her.
definitely gonna happen.
I have my own dreams.
100% sure.
But a world without her? where she dies so we can all...
Agreed.
Well, you know, it could be that at the end, one of them is going to die. I'm just saying. I don't know, and I really don't want that, but it can happen. Like, I had a game, I'm not gonna say which one it is, so I'm not gonna spoil if someone is gonna play it, but there was a certain type of game, I played it, and there was a character that you played for like hours and hours and hours with him, because he was like a companion with you. Like for 60, 70 hours I played with that character, and then he dies. What the fuck? That made me realize that
Can't sleep?
those who make games, they can do everything.
Fair enough.
Shionne's had to deal with so much on her
Like
own.
right now, actually,
Even
Rinwa
when
is
we were
a
all
bit
laughing and
sad.
I thought she was
She also
keeping her
always
distance
had like
because
some
her
sort of,
thorns.
I don't
That it
know,
was
she
because she
liked
didn't wanna
her,
hurt
but she
anybody by
still
getting too
thinks
close.
she's a Renan and she hates
I
Renans.
just, but
But right now
turned
it
out
looks
to be
like
none
she's
of
really
that.
100% friends with her.
All this time,
I like
she
that, I
felt
like that.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her?
I'm sure it made her happy.
You really?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, you were a good friend to her before. And you'll be...
Yeah. When you think about it, but over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. No, I mean, I think it'd be...
Rinwell.
Rinwell? What are you saying? Okay, Law is the last one. And where's Shion? Okay, she's right there. Definitely going to be the last conversation we will be having on
Did you know?
Dahna.
You mean about she?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while, it's like a completely different world.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but...
You? But you...
That's what I thought.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're...
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we.
I know.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back?
Zephyr,
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. We'll need all... I'll probably end up worrying again at some point. But I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think...
You know, I think that those thorns... I was thinking of this, but I think those thorns are like part of Naomi. If you don't know who Naomi is, she's like the ancestor of Shion from 300 years ago. I'm not sure though, but I think it's like a part of Naomi that manifests through those thorns. I don't know. I'm just speculating or some kind of shit like that.
Hey, you do...
I like to do that.
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadime, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma.
That's a shame.
But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dahna and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Beautiful. Okay, we've
Everyone
got
well
every
rested?
single member back,
Then let's go. We
which
depart for
is
Lenegis.
pretty good. I think I'm ready for everything. I don't have a lot of geld, but I think I have all my loot that I can still sell. Because since the beginning I didn't sell a single ore or single fish and all that kind of stuff. But for the rest I think I'm ready, hopefully. Take off, is that it? So easy. I hope we can actually ride it. Well, not ride it, but fly with it. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. Just think he's going to teleport to the certain location of Lenegis.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
Is it working?
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
It would be
Law,
quite
don't
stupid
say
that at
that.
the
You're
end of
going to
that,
jinx us.
of all of that, the ship is not
Speaking
working.
of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one.
Let's call it
I never really
Arise.
thought about it.
Well,
Zephyr.
after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Zephyr.
Fall Knights.
What? What the fuck is that?
It means owl in the ancient tongue.
No, thank you.
Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
No.
I like it.
No.
Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
The Fall Knights.
Okay, people.
Okay.
We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dahna alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
That was, I don't know, the weirdest name I could hear. It's a bit of a German name or German word, Fall Knight. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Definitely not for a spaceship. But if they're liking it, it's not a problem. It's not like I have a choice.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little...
Oh my
different.
god, this episode is just
Like
going to
in
be
a bad way
conversation after conversation
No,
after
not at all.
conversation.
You seem more driven lately, like you found
I actually
your
like
zest
it.
for life.
They
It
go
suits
giving
you.
us like our first not spaceship, our first like home, I'll say. I like it. Let's talk to everyone, like always. There's a lot
something wrong?
of skits.
I was merely thinking.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well,
Nope.
it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought, but I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking.
Well, it's not like there's a lot to look at. If there was a chest or some kind of other
We'll be
thing like
going to
that with some
This must
loot, I
feel
will,
like a
I will
homecoming of
actually
sorts to you,
look
huh?
for it, but I don't think there will
What
be.
was life on Lenegis like back then?
Let's just say I don't have many happy memories. They called it treatment. But in truth, they were just using me as a...
You mean they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure they
still
knew
surprised
that
they
she was
didn't
some
try to
sort of
dissect me.
maiden.
The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Really, some existence, huh? I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. That's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world,
I'm sorry. I didn't...
no, it's fine.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my... Why should you have to give up? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery. As if some of us were just meant to be This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, we can do this. Together.
We can do this. I want to know how Shion went to Dahna. Like they were talking about how you go to Dahna with a spaceship, but the only spaceships they have is from the beginning of the crown contest to the end of the crown contest. So you only see 2 spaceships at a time, and that's like every 10 years. Is that it? So how did she went to that planet? Strange. I don't know what it is, but there's still something Shina's telling us. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's good. 2 conversations
Hey,
at one.
Alvin, listen to this. So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby.
Big baby.
After all that fuss he made about naming the ship.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology.
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Oh, that was good. Really short conversation. That's what I like. I don't think there's anything in here. Don't know what that is. Is that like... No, I don't even know what it is. Or maybe that's where you drop off. Yeah. And now we talk with Kisara, or maybe just see if there's a chest. What is this? Toilets, maybe? You don't even have a chamber. You don't have chambers, you don't have a toilet. Oh, this is the cryo thingy, where you can sleep for like 100 years without aging. Is that it? Should maybe gonna
You
talk
okay?
about this.
Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes
Okay,
injuries and
it's not a
illnesses.
Oh,
cryopod.
you don't
Sorry.
say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, Naori laid me inside here.
Oh, it's not Naomi, it's
So,
Naori.
you're saying you got in this
Shit.
thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all
That's
that
why I
time.
said it was a cryopod,
That's
but it doesn't
definitely
look
quite
like it.
some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Okay then. So are we going to Lenegis straight ahead or not? I want to know if there's gonna be a problem while we going there.
Preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
I don't even know.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dahna. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right. complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dahna even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pillaging.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dahna, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Yeah, boys. Let's go to the planet of Lenegis. Or, oh. Are we having a beautiful, beautiful cutscene? No, we are. Oh, yes, we have. It looks like there's nobody. Is that normal?
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but
Maybe they have
still.
some problems.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
That's a beautiful
Do you
ship,
think
the
anyone
black one.
realizes
I like
we're
that.
here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shionne's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Members who left have returned to a party.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shionne and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side.
Alright then, so Lenegis is actually that spaceship. I really thought it was going to be a planet, or maybe they considered this a planet, who knows. But I don't think there's gonna be like multiple areas or multiple regions inside of this big starship. So is this just a one-time region to go to? I don't even know. But there's one thing I'm actually gonna do, and it's actually I'm going to end this episode. I'm gonna end this episode. So next episode I will be starting fresh with this starship, which is Lenegis. Is that it? Yeah, this is Lenegis. So yeah, I hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. It was a lot of conversation, but I quite enjoyed it. It was a lot of story content, so it was pretty good. I know a lot more information that I never knew, so that's definitely a good sign. But for now, hopefully the next episode is gonna be good. But for now, I'll end this episode. Goodbye.